deal, either purchase a machine shop myself or just get into like some form of a partnership with a shop where I can go in there, I can use the equipment, I can help them out with whatever work they're working on. But then as well as being able to do my own stuff, bring in my own parts, my own projects. So I design something, I want to machine it, I want to make some prototypes. Well, instead of going on Proto Labs or, you know, having some other machine shop make it and paying a couple $100 for prototypes, I go in there and run the machines, make my own parts. So with prototyping, super valuable. These machines now, like what I'll be kind of looking at will probably be not production machines. So once you get up into like high production volumes, it's hard to compete with a shop that's fully set up for production.
Yeah.
And that could get kind of boring anyway. So maybe I wouldn't want to do that, but then for prototyping and just for making short runs, initial market testing and then even for just random little bits and pieces for myself, my dirt bike parts or mountain bike parts. And so that's my reasoning. I want to partner or buy a machine shop. But my current situation is I'm working a full-time job. I currently kind of plan on probably continuing that, at least for the time being. And then I don't have a garage or any kind of a shop myself at home. So I don't have anywhere to put machines. If I were to buy them, I don't have anywhere to put them. My landlord wouldn't like it if I put them in the living room. I would assume, I haven't asked him, but I would assume he would. But
your wife probably wouldn't mind after like enough convincing.
I don't know. I might have to buy her a new car or something. But anyway, yeah. So and being that I'm working a full-time job is not really practical to go and rent out at least for me at this time. Now in the future, I would, this may change, but going and renting out, let's say a 2,000 square foot shop space, putting in a couple of machines, you know, you're paying for the leases or the finance payments for the machines, plus your real estate lease. In total, all of your overhead, it adds up to be so much that turns into a full-time job like now, right? I can't do that, working full-time and then trying to go do that without working insane hours, which is totally possible. And some people do it. And right now, this point in my life, that's not what I'm looking for, right? So partnership kind of comes out to be the best fit, or either that we're buying a machine shop. And let's say if I found a machine shop with smooth, smaller shop, not huge like stress or management required, I could run that while working full time.
That was almost self-sustaining with its own basically. With its own. Yeah, because what I was thinking, and I was reading a couple articles on buying and starting a machine shop, and what it looks like to me is that unless you have like a set customer base or something to like give you money right off the bat, it seems to be a rather difficult thing to kick off, or even if you currently have one right now and work just slows down, basically you could be stuck 2-3 months without any jobs coming in.
Yeah, spindles aren't turning, you're not making money, it's a tough business for sure, and it has high upfront costs, and your competition is very high as well. So there's a lot of competition out there. There's a lot of machines. You get one 3-axis CNC into a shop and get it all tooled up and set up. If you buy a new machine, you're $100,000 into it before you know it.
Yeah,
right?
easily.
And that's nothing special. So trying to do that as a startup, and the problem is that just one machine isn't enough. You need lots of inspection equipment. You need other tools that kind of surround and support that, saws. You need your computer and your whole,
Your software.
any kind of technology stuff, your software. It's an incredibly difficult business to start up. Now it can, many businesses are. Now, I'm not saying that this is unique to machining by any means. A lot of businesses are very challenging, but and there are ways to make it easier. But yeah, so, and for me, I've really wanted to own a machine shop or in some form for a long time.
Yeah.
So that's it's a process, and a lot of times how a lot of shops actually end up starting is in their garage.
Yeah.
So somebody that takes the real estate. So let's say like a $3,000 lease payment for a small space to get started.
Now you have your garage.
Well, you just have your garage. That takes that much of the burden off of you, which is huge. It could be the difference between making it and shutting down.
Yeah. No, I also think the way you approached it is probably the best way, because let's say, somebody else has the same skill set that you have and they want to start their machine shop or they want to start a business. Basically finding somebody that you can partner with. And at that point, now you're like basically another arm of their team, free for them in a sense, because now you're bringing in work for the shop. You're adding capabilities, you're adding people and manpower. So it's a win. And I think that that's, the best approach, other than, starting it in your own garage and trying to do it that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And especially if it's more of an established shop where the other person has already put in the time, like they've got it going. And if you can bring in some level of value, and then of course you can't just jump in and expect to be like an immediate partner and earning money in some sense, but you bring your own value, which for me, as a prior machinist, I've worked in a machine shop for some number of years, so I can bring in value, as in I'm going to help him make his parts.
Yeah.
And take some burden, as if I'm kind of an employee, but instead of, he don't have to hire me. I'm not an employee. I'm working through my own business as a
contract.
On a contract of you could
contract partner,
1099 employee. So
yeah. Because another thing too I've been noticing about the machine shop is that if you're strictly doing machining, I feel like you're not fully tapping into your money earning potential as if you were doing machining plus assembly plus a value added process. So you, like, for example, creating a product that you like, you anodize, you assemble, you do some kind of packaging, and now you can sell it as like a product with all of the value added manufacturability to it. I think, at least for my logic in it, that's almost like a whole nother route where ideally you should be trying to push it into. What do you think about that?
Yeah, so like you said, if you're only doing machining, well, a lot of people do that, but they might have like some special customers, some kind of relationships, or long-term contracts. But
yeah,
by being able to provide value add services, especially if you can do them all in-house, there's more potential for money, for income. And for myself, what I'm really looking to do is my own products, potentially, other people's products. But then if I can do most of my own stuff in-house, at least for the development phase of it, really there might be some external companies that are big enough. They just have the systems, the processes, everything in place that even as compared to in-house, you may not be able to compete with them. So, but for the development portion, when a product is in kind of an infancy state,
Mhm.
it would be very difficult to beat that on an like by some vendor doing the work for you. You know, doing it in-house almost every time is going to be cheaper.
Exactly, because you could literally grab a piece of scrap and turn it into your prototype.
Yeah, prototyping is expensive. That is the expensive part, is doing any form of prototyping. Because with production stuff, you
Mhm.
might there might be like an initial cost, let's call it $10,000, but if you're making 1 million parts,
Yeah,
that
you have
$10,000 gets
kind of
spread out
yeah,
over every one of those parts. But
exactly.
now if you have 3 parts, $10,000 divided by your 3 parts is
Mhm.